Hi, mga Poros CabalenZ. Welcome to Kapampodcast, hosted by me, Anton Soto, extraordinary boy with a lisp, turned talk show and podcast host from San Fernando, Pampanga.
And me, Kate Gonzalez, the prettiest, finest, awkwardest, modest, makeup-obsessed podcast host from San Simon, Pampanga, even if I don't have any makeup.
Okay, so not only do we have a talk show now, but we also have a podcast now. Yay! Woo! Celebration! Okay, so let's reintroduce ourselves. Okay, like I said, I'm Anton Soto from San Fernando, Pampanga. I'm taking up multimedia arts in De La Salle College of St. Benilde.
And me, I'm Kate, and I'm also taking multimedia arts in De La Salle College of St. Benilde.
Yes, so we're classmates, and we're CabalenZ
We are.
to each other. CabalenZ.
So we initially did not meet in Pampanga, but we met in Manila, and then we became friends, and so we started this whole project.
Yeah, we're both from Pampanga, and then we didn't even know each other here. And then when we met in Manila, we kind of hit things off, and then that's how the Kapampangan, Kabalen brotherhood, sisterhood started to jive and flow, like the noom, like the water flowing.
And so we also have a talk show, and what sets this podcast apart from the talk show is that we get to open deeper conversations and discuss things related to anything Kapampangan here. Yeah.
Yes, because our talk show focuses more on trying to learn the language, but in here, we get to be chill and talk about anything related to Kapampangan stuff. It's just us, kami lang to. We're very chill here in this podcast. We're being ourselves because in our talk show, we're being ourselves but twice.
Yes,
Not really,
very
like,
extra.
double that. Okay, so today we will be talking about the Kapampangan language. Why? Because it's dying. And that's not supposed to be happy. Okay, that's sad. It's dying. Okay, so shall we do a quick disclaimer, Miss Kate?
Yes, so a quick disclaimer, we are not experts on the Kapampangan language. We are just two kids who want to share with you our experiences as a Kapampangan and learn the language with you guys throughout our episodes.
So when did you realize that Kapampangan is slowly dying? Or you guys? I'll answer this first. Okay, for me, I started to realize that Kapampangan is slowly dying. I just really have to look around. Not a lot of people in Pampanga speak Kapampangan anymore, and that's sad because we are Kapampangans and our own people don't speak the language anymore. So if you just go to the coffee shop or if you're at the grocery store, it's rare na lang na you'll encounter someone someone who speaks Kapampangan. Like when you're paying or when you're just gonna say hi to someone, it's rare na lang to see someone talking Kapampangan. And from my daily experience, everyone in Pampanga speaks either Tagalog or English and not much Kapampangan. And even our friends, even me, we don't speak Kapampangan at all, at least in our generation, from what I know. How about you?
So for me, I realized that it was dying, or like that it was slowly dying was that when, like 3 to 4 years ago, like quite a long time ago, my aunt mentioned it to me that she was like, balo mo yung one of the most endangered languages is Kapampangan. And then I was like, that's not a big deal. I thought before that it was not a big deal. But then after a few years, as I got like more mature, when I went to college especially, I realized that I was like a part of that population that didn't know Kapampangan, that was like kind of a part of that problem. And then it's a pain, like what Anton said, like in college, we found so many other Kapampangans who couldn't also speak Kapampangan like us. So that's when we realized it. Yeah.
Yeah, so itapin, CabalenZ, our generation, the CabalenZ, the Gen Z Kapampangans, which is why me and Kate did a research on the decline of Kapampangan language literacy / fluency on the Kapampangan language itself. So, based on our research, we did see nga na it's declining, and we interviewed lots of people. We interviewed Gen Zs and linguists, and we also looked up at our review of related sources, review of related literature, na there are tons of research na it shows that Kapampangan is dying. So you don't have to take it just from us. You just have to Google Kapampangan is dying, and lots of things will show up. So let's talk about what were the reasons why we don't know how to speak Kapampangan. Ot tayo mo biyasa magkapampangan.
So, Yaku, Eko Biasa, because first, it wasn't taught to us at home. Because, first of all, the language that was taught to us was English. Kasi, the reasoning behind that was my parents were like, so that you can understand your cousins overseas, or like, you're gonna be good at English when you grow up and stuff like that. And then, so that's what the language was at home. And then in school, that's when I started learning Tagalog. And then everyone just spoke Tagalog, no Kapampangan at all. Maybe because like all other kids there as well had the same. I feel like they had the same situation as I did, that they were also raised speaking Tagalog. So that's what happened. So how about you?
The reasons why I don't speak Kapampangan. First of all, I went to a school that only taught Tagalog and English. So private. It's your typical private school in Pampanga, or not even almost all schools in Pampanga don't teach Kapampangan at all, even public schools. So and also apart from that, my parents spoke to me in Tagalog at home. And then at school, I'd be speaking in English with my friends or teachers and stuff. So there was no place for Kapampangan. I never got to ask my parents though on why they never taught me how to, or why they never spoke to us, me and my siblings, in Kapampangan. And which is why I'm hoping they're not watching this, because I don't want them to, I mean, I want them to answer me now, but it's so cringe for them to watch me right now. But yeah, I never really asked them on why they never taught me how to speak Kapampangan. But I think it's because they probably thought it would be better if I learn English and Tagalog, because the world, globalization, when you go to work, you might not be encountering Kapampangan speakers when you go abroad or in Manila. So I think that's mainly the reason why they never taught us how to speak Kapampangan. And then also, my friends and I converse in Tagalog and English, so there's that. That's why I don't speak Kapampangan, which is sad. Okay, so let's talk about Kapampangan not being passed down to our generation, the Kabaleng Gen Z. Okay, so this is important to me. So I think parents should pass down the language to us, to the Gen Z, to the Gen Z Kapampangans, but not just our generation. There's the millennials, and then the generation after the Gen Z Kapampangans. Like, if we're gonna be parents, we have to learn to speak Kapampangan and then pass it on. Cause I myself, I believe I'm an artist, so finding my identity as an artist would have been easier if I knew how to speak Kapampangan. Because knowing where you're from and understanding your roots, that's important in building your identity as an artist. So Kapampangan is part of my identity. It's part of my heritage. It's part of who I am. And the fact that I don't know how to speak Kapampangan lets a gap exist inside of me. So I wish I knew how to speak Kapampangan. But we're trying. So sad life, because what will happen to Kapampangan if we don't pass it on, or if our generation don't learn it, and then the generations after us won't know how to speak Kapampangan. So please, parents, teach us how to speak Kapampangan, and let's learn either independently or through our own ways, and then let's pass it on to our children. So how about you, Kate?
So for me, my take on not it on it not being passed down is that I think, wait, first of all, I think they should keep speaking to their kid in Kapampangan. And like, uh, with them feeling like they have to speak to their kid in Tagalog or English to benefit them shows what they think of that language, what they think of Kapampangan itself. So, um, at home they should be speaking to their kid in Kapampangan. If both parents are Kapampangan, or if one of the parents, of course, is Kapampangan, if as much as possible they should be speaking to their kid in Kapampangan. And then if they want their kid to be good at English or Tagalog, they can learn that in school, or you can tutor them in those languages as well. But of course, you're gonna have to put more what's this called, parang emphasis or something, or prioritize the native language because that's where they're from, and of course that's the place where they are. And then for the future as well, if they eventually leave Pampanga, they still have a piece of Pampanga inside of them because they know the language. So that's what it is for me. And also from my experience, when I left Pampanga and I didn't know how to speak Kapampangan, I felt like, am I really Kapampangan? Like, because I didn't know Kapampangan and I'm just here in Manila. I'm like, it's like I'm just exactly like them when I'm not. Like, which kind of confused some of us. So yeah, that's what I think about it.
Yeah, what she said about Kapampangan being part of our identity, like a few seconds ago, I think it's really true na Kapampangan sets us apart. Being Kapampangan sets us apart from other people, because in Philippines there's not just like one. It's not just Tagalog. We have lots of other languages that are present. So we should also acknowledge that. And if we start to see that Tagalog isn't the only language or the culture in the Philippines, and I think we can all, each local language can like benefit from it. So we have Ilocano, we have Cebuano, we have Visaya. So I think it's important that we should embrace our own cultural identity, so we can strengthen. I don't know what I'm saying, but I hope you guys get it. But it's just part of us, please. So let's work on that, cause diversity. Yeah, that's the word. Diversity. It's important na. It's not just Tagalog. It's not just because like what about the other languages, and so they're just gonna fade into the background. Like we should also give importance to the other languages. What do you have to say about what I just said? Because I don't know how to say it better, but I think you can say it better.
So
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about this new boy group. We're not sponsored by them, but we found them. We found them through social media, of course, and it's a.
Are you a fan?
I'm interested. I'm very invested in what they have in store.
I think I'm a big fan.
Yeah, and
yeah, I'm excited for what they're gonna show.
And I think it's such a good move for them to do that because they represent, each of the members represent one of the major languages in the Philippines, like 8 major languages. That's what I saw. And they released this video that was educating other Filipinos on what's a dialect and what's a language. And they really did that spot on. And there was a professor there that said Kapampangan, Ilocano, Cebuano, Waray is not a dialect, it's a language, because if they all speak to each other, they're not gonna understand each other. And I think it's good that the Filipinos finally have this, to get educated and to know the value of their own languages and stuff like that. And also, I think it was good that they released that, also because it gave more
Representation.
representation, and it's not always just the Tagalogs. It's not just always everyone from Luzon. It's there's this whole there's a lot of ethnic groups, people from different places, and I think it's really nice that they put them all together to shed a light on all these other cultures and to show the richness of the different Filipino ethnic groups and cultures. Yeah.
Yeah, we should celebrate each and every single one of our local languages in the Philippines. Cause why be boring with just one language na yun lang yung alam? Why not the more the merrier, right? So earlier you said something about Kapampangans looking down on our language. So we did a research and we found out that I actually interviewed, part of our research, we had to interview Gen Z Kapampangans and linguists. I interviewed one of them and they said this person said na Kapampangan is baryotic. To him or her na Kapampangan sounds baryotic. It's the language of the kanto, ganyan. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, so for me, I can see where that's coming from because
She said baryotic.
so she
Baryotic.
said I understand, and it's pretty prevalent here that they see Kapampangan as baryotic. First, because it's usually spoken in the places where they're not super urbanized or something like that. Like, no, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but it's like the kids in the street, the people, the ladies na nagchichismisan. That's what you hear from them. And like with us, when you go to like our schools, it's all Tagalog. There's no Kapampangan. So I feel like it's like what's that called? Like you recognize this language from here, and you recognize the language from here. It's like I forgot what that's called. That word.
I don't know the word.
It's like it's registered in your brain that Kapampangan is always spoken here and Tagalog is always spoken here, like in very formal settings, in settings where it's more upper level.
Muscle memory.
So,
Hindi ko alam.
muscle memory.
Hindi ko alam.
It's like recognition. It's like registration. Memory registration.
We don't know the word, but just comment it if you know.
Yeah, it's something along those lines. So yeah, that's why I feel like that's why I think the best way to tackle this issue is that we have to change the mindset, everyone's mindset on how they see Kapampangan. Like, start speaking. You can speak Kapampangan in school. You should allow Kapampangan in school, and like it's Kapampangan. It's a Pampango language.
Yeah, and it's crazy because in part of our research, we found out that during the 80s, and not necessarily the 80s, probably the 90s, I don't know what year, but a lot of our references said na, and from our interviews with linguists said na, when they were in high school or grade school, Kapampangan was really not allowed. So these people would speak Kapampangan in their classrooms and they would be penalized for speaking it. Which is crazy. That's so crazy because you're in Pampanga and then the schools are like penalizing these students for speaking Kapampangan. Like, okay, we get that you're trying to teach us how to speak in English or Tagalog, but that's too much. And also, Sir Mike said something about Sir Mike. Thank you for helping us with the research. He said something about Kapampangan kids, lower class Kapampangan kids, they would pretend to not know how to speak Kapampangan, but when they actually do, and they think it's cool to not know how to speak in Kapampangan because they think it's a privilege to be illiterate or about Kapampangan. So they think it's cool na, Ella, biyasa magkapampangan. Sige, magkunyari tayo, tamo biyasa magkapampangan. So, which is sad. Because we want your skills. So, there's that problem.
And not
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and not like in Saints Co. Sorry Saints Co. But in Saints Co. one time, there was this thing in the grade school called no Filipino English policy or something like that, like no Filipino policy. And then everyone in grade school, in the grade school department, had to speak English everywhere they went. And then I feel like, what kind of policy is this? Is this helpful for them? I mean, I feel like that stems from colonial mentality or something. I think, because the no Kapampangan policy became no Tagalog policy, and then now it's all English. Like, I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I have no tea to spill about my high school because no one speaks Kapampangan there, so it's really not a topic at all. So let's talk about the fear of being ridiculed after when we try to speak Kapampangan. For me, because this is present, okay? This happens, like, right? Na people are, because there might be fluent Gen Z Kapampangans, and then when they hear their friends who don't know how to speak Kapampangan attempt to speak in Kapampangan, they're like, hindi ka marunong, ang pangit ng accent mo, ganyan, hindi naman ganyan, you sound so weird, ganyan. For me, it happens all the time. I try to speak Kapampangan in school, and I have this one friend na pro magkapampangan, and not just her, like, not just him, not just her. Other people too would laugh at my accent when I try to speak Kapampangan. For me, I don't get bothered by this. I get teased for sucking at it, but to be honest, I don't mind. For others, they might feel discouraged, but don't be discouraged. Just keep learning. Keep trying to practice Kapampangan. It doesn't matter what they say. But for me, I'm not bothered. But for others, they might be bothered. How about you?
So my story on this is that, okay, starting from high school. High school, I think, almost maybe like 50% of my classmates were fluent. Like, they were raised speaking Kapampangan. And then they spoke Kapampangan to each other sometimes in school. Like, the fluent ones speak to Kapampangan to each other. Like, maybe 70% of the time. And then when I listen to them and then I try to speak Kapampangan, they laugh at me. And then, like, I'm low-key trying my best. I'm low-key, like, trying to fit in, trying to practice. But then they laugh at me, and then, like, I try to play it off, and I try to play it off and pretend that I'm making them laugh, so I don't look like I'm offended.
That's
So,
sad.
and then I feel like it escalated to where they think whenever I speak Kapampangan, I'm just trying to make them laugh and stuff like that. And then, like, so that's how it went for, like, maybe until the first year of college or even before that. And then when me and Anton realized the problem and realized all the stuff, all the Kapampangan language dying, that's when I started telling everyone that, oh, it sucks that we don't know how to speak Kapampangan. It sucks that we grew up speaking just Tagalog and English. It sucks that our school never really taught Kapampangan and stuff like that. And then I became more open to them, and then I feel like they also see the problem now, because I did the survey to them. I posted a lot of Instagram stories about it, and they're starting to see it, and thank God they're starting to see it. And then also, I can always see like Gen Z kids like me who post on their Facebook or post on their Instagram, oh, how come my little sisters, how come my little sister is finally having a Kapampangan subject? How come they never taught us Kapampangan in school? And or it's like sometimes they rant on Facebook saying like, why didn't we learn Kapampangan at home? And like, how come my school had this no Kapampangan, no Tagalog, only English policy and stuff like that? And it's good that they're already realizing this, because yeah, it's something we need to talk about. It's a conversation we need to talk about.
Oh, yeah, when you said something about the story about their sister learning Kapampangan, yeah, according to our research too and personal experience, they have Kapampangan things in the curriculum now, so that's good. Better late than very, very late. But yeah, they have Kapampangan things. They're studying Kapampangan right now. I don't know what grade they are, probably 11, 12, but my brother has this YouTube channel where he posts Kapampangan folk songs. Because, if you guys don't know, my great-grandfather is Juan Crisostomo Soto, and so he has he's the father of Kapampangan poetry, and which is very, I'm not very proud of it na he's that guy, and I'm this guy who doesn't know how to speak Kapampangan, but I'm trying. This is for you. Anyway, my brother has this YouTube channel where he posts Kapampangan folk songs according to the songs that the songs from my great grandfather's play. So and then it's funny because people are commenting, students are commenting on my brother's videos na, oh, I'm doing this for my module, doing this for class. Who's here because of their module? And then me. So it's very fun. It's very I'm very happy that people are learning Kapampangan. It's never too late. Yay! We're progressing. We're making steps. We're making good steps. Good steps. Oh, you said something. No, you didn't say something. I just have to say this. If you guys know how to speak Kapampangan, and then you have a friend who's trying to speak Kapampangan, teach them. Don't discourage them naman. Teach them. Don't be mayabang naman na, you don't know how. Teach them. You can't be the only one who knows how. Share your talent, share your blessing. So, teach them, please.
Yeah, and
Okay, so shall we... Yeah, okay, go.
If I may add, if your Tagalog friend wants to learn Kapampangan, teach them also. Like, kawawa naman, they only know Tagalog and English. Joke lang.
Yeah, and kami nga in Manila, we're the Kapampangans in our block, and when me and Kate are trying to converse with each other in Kapampangan, when we're trying to learn, even though our vocab suck and our grammar suck, people are interested, and we're teaching them a few words because they're interested. Kami nga, di kami marunong, but we're teaching Manila people how to speak Kapampangan. Kayo pa, na pro mag-Kapampangan. So, please, teach us, teach your friends, teach your friends who suck at Kapampangan. May yabe-yabe tamu.
Yes.
Okay? So, shall we move on to our next topic? When did you feel like it was important to learn Kapampangan, Kate?
Okay.
Kapilin mo feel na kailangan mo palang abaluin Kapampangan.
Okay, so for me, I felt it, of course, I felt it when I realized that I realized that, yeah, it's a part of our identity, blah, 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 blah. But also, additionally, your ancestors are gonna look at you and see that you don't know how to speak Kapampangan. When, like, if you're gonna think about it, think about your lolo, think about your lola, and they're super immersed in the culture, they're super Kapampangan, they're, like, they could be big names in your area, and then they're gonna see you as their grandchild, and you don't know how to speak Kapampangan. You're super westernized, you're super this Tagalogized, super Englishized, Koreanized, stuff like that. And then you're like
Thaiized.
And you're kind of watered down you feel like where's the flavor, where's the spice, you feel. So that's one of the reasons. And one more is that when you meet, it's also fun when when you have a common ground with other Kapampangans, when you meet them in another place. Like for example, you're in America and you find the Filipino, and then you find out they're also Kapampangan, and then I feel like it's fun when you get to interact with them with using your native language, or when you're like in Manila and you find other Kapampangans on your block or on the same org as you. It's fun kaya to share like the same language and like to relate. And also one more story I have is that I met a friend in church in Manila, but she's also Kapampangan, but she grew up in another country, so she only knows when she came home, she only knows English and Kapampangan. And then when she moved to Manila, everyone was speaking Tagalog, and I don't think she found that many Kapampangan people. And so when we met, she told me she was like, ay, atin na akong apakasabihan Kapampangan kanyan. And then I was like, I can't speak that good. And then I just spoke to her in Tagalog. And then after that, I felt so bad because I feel like she was super excited to be able to meet another Kapampangan and speak comfortably in Kapampangan. But then I couldn't. And that's when I felt bad, and I also felt like there's something missing inside of me and stuff like that. And so now I really try to speak Kapampangan in public. In like one time we were in the church near intersection in San Fernando, and there were flowers there. And then I tried buying flowers using Kapampangan, and like my cousins were laughing at me, but like I was like, nah, that's okay. And so like I've gotten more confident about it, and I feel like that should be you as well. Yeah.
Okay. For me, I started realizing that it was important to learn Kapampangan. Syempre, college, cause like, we're from Pampanga, so I went to school in Pampanga in Brightwoods, and then, I've been studying there since I was like nursery. So, I think it's normal na you wanna get out of your hometown, and so, I was really ready to leave Pampanga, and so when I got in Manila, I was like, wow, yay, I'm ready for new culture. But then, I started realizing na, wait, I feel like something sets me apart from these people, and that's because I'm Kapampangan. But I think I can strengthen that if I know how to speak Kapampangan. So, college was really the main thing that helped me realize na, okay, it's time to learn Kapampangan. Especially, we are art students, both of us, we're art students, and I think for artists, it's important to establish your own identity, and it's important that you know your identity because of your heritage, through Kapampangan, through your own culture, your hometown's own culture, and most especially, I started realizing that I have to learn Kapampangan because yun nga, I'm an heir of Crisot, so it's like, it's really embarrassing na I don't know how to speak Kapampangan. It's really embarrassing. I don't know what else to say, but it's embarrassing. And so, not just because it's embarrassing, but I don't want to be the one, or I don't want our generation to be the last to speak Kapampangan, especially me and my cousin. So I want us to like learn how to speak Kapampangan because he's our lolo, he's our great grandfather, and so I feel like his bloods are running through me, and so I really want to honor him. I really want to learn the language for him, not just for him, for the whole Cabalen, the entire Pampanga. Like, this is for us. This is for our culture. We have to save our culture. We have to save our language. We are the future, mga Kabalenz. We are the world. We are the future. Kabalenz, let's go. Let's learn Kapampangan. So yeah, let's learn. Please, let's learn. We can't be the last generation to not speak Kapampangan. Let's pass it down.
Yeah.
Let's learn.
Yeah, and also for me, like with what you said, like you're the heir of Crisot and stuff like that. Like I kind of felt that because my lolo or Apu, I call him Apu. My Apu isn't even that famous. He's not even like super, like he has a big, ano, but he was like, he was like people knew him and people like recognize him like from in our place there, and then, but I feel like if I go on like this, I feel like, yeah, like what you said, like it's embarrassing. Like it's embarrassing for them to see your grandfather to be this mighty Kapampangan guy, and then you're just like, oh, I don't speak Kapampangan. I'm sorry. It's like, yeah. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
And imagine if we die and then we go to heaven and then we see them and they're like, it's nakakahiya! And then we don't know how to speak Kapampangan. So, Lord, please let me learn how to speak Kapampangan first. And so, when I meet my great-grandfather, I know how to greet him. Maya pa oras po, maya pa bak, maya pa bengi po. So, let's talk about Gen Z, CabalenZ being willing to learn how to speak Kapampangan. Yeah, so from our research, oh my God, dogs. From our research, okay, sorry, the dogs are distracting me. From our research, we found that Gen Z Kapampangan still want to learn how to speak Kapampangan. So that's a good thing. They still want to learn how to speak Kapampangan. They said na they're interested and are willing to learn how to speak Kapampangan. Gen Z is being willing to learn Kapampangan. Oh yes, and it's important to learn Kapampangan. Because, like, again, like what we said, we are the world, we are the future.
So yeah.
So, especially our generation.
So yeah, so y'all said you wanted to learn Kapampangan. It's time to put your words into action, guys. And you have, and while for those who are living with their parents right now, na that it's like pandemic and you're with your parents 24/7, you might as well maximize it. Like speak to them, ask them to teach you right now, so that after this whole pandemic, when you're out there studying in school or like in college in Manila or in other places, you're all set. Like you already have all of the things you need to know.
And do what me and Kate do. You know, we text to each other in even if we're not serious, we're still trying to like add a little flair to conversations with our other friends. We're trying to speak and we're trying to type in Kapampangan, and I think that's good practice na din. Like, you might not know it, but yung vocabs mo pala, it's getting bigger na pala.
Yeah, and another thing my friend told me was like, sanayan mo yan, you just have to get used to it. And I feel like you just have to integrate Kapampangan in your daily conversations. And yeah, integrate it in your life.
Yes, integrate it in your life. Put those words into action. So, what are you gonna do? So, if you don't know how to speak Kapampangan and your parents are fluent Kapampangan speakers, maybe try to pay attention to their conversations if they're talking to their friends or your parents are talking to each other in Kapampangan. Try to pay attention to their words, what they're saying, and observe the vocabs, observe the words. Try to let the words sink into your brain. So, next time when you talk to your friend, oh, you can use that word. You pick up those words and then you can use it later on, right?
Yeah, and then like, what I do is when I'm in the car, don't put your earphones on, take them off, and listen to your parents talk to each other, and then like mimic what they say and stuff like that. So that's yeah. And then also
fake it till you make it.
And also, another thing I try to do anyway, is that when a Shopee delivery guy calls me, I answer in Kapampangan, and then they answer in Kapampangan, they answer back in Kapampangan. And then I was like, and it's a simple conversation lang. So it's just, you're not gonna get embarrassed. You're not gonna get pakarine with it. So it's fine. You can do it. You can do it. It's easy.
It's the little things.
Yeah.
It's the little things. Okay, shall we proceed with the ending remark?
Yeah, so we're gonna wrap up this episode.
Yeah. that was a really substantial, juicy episode.
Yeah.
Meaningful episode. Our first podcast episode. It's a very meaningful episode. First podcast episode, but kung alam nyo lang, we shot this like 5 times. prior to this episode right now, we had to practice like 5 times. So, this is for you guys. For our CabalenZ. Para kayo ni. Okay, with that being said, we're gonna wrap up the episode. It's so important to learn and share the language of where you're from, and with that, we have resources for anything Kapampangan, and these are, okay, first we have the Kulitan app, Learn the Kapampangan script. It's an app, it's available on iTunes and App Store. We have our own writing system.
Yes.
Yeah, it's called Kulitan, and if you guys didn't know, our intro that we showed for our talk show, that's Kulitan, those little things, those scribbly things. It's Kulitan. So, why not hit 2 birds with 1 stone? Learn Kapampangan and Kulitan with an app.
Yes, and additionally, there's a Learning Kulitan Facebook group, and you can join that. And it's all like for
follow them, like them.
Yeah, it's for learning Kulitan, serious learning. So, I think it's really helpful. With the Kulitan app as well. And also we have sinupan.org for Kapampangan articles, and Aguman Sinupan Sing Sing. And what is Aguman Sinupan Sing Sing?
Aguman Sinupan Sing Sing. That's what we were talking about. I think they also have, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's also the school where they teach. It's like an after school. They teach Kapampangan and Kulitan, I believe. So please, they have a Facebook page, so go check it out. Aguman Sinupan Sing Sing. It's everything Kapampangan, anything Kapampangan. Go like and follow. So para sa timeline nyo sa Facebook nyo, may nakikita na kayo. I think kayong akakit na Kapampangan, so that's good. And going back to sinupan.org for Kapampangan articles, I think that's also a cool website if you're into literature. Go check out that website. There's lots of great Kapampangan writers. Like, oh my God, ang gagaling ng writers natin. There's all types of writings in that website. There's like artsy ones, and there's like political ones. Go check them out.
And I'm going off the script,
Okay.
but you guys should also check out Alamat, because in their
they
have a song, and it's all in different languages, and in their lyrics, there's a Kapampangan lyric, Bisaya lyric. So I think you guys should check that out also. Anyway, we're not affiliated with them. We just like them.
We're not affiliated with them. We just like them.
Yeah.
But I think you like them very much kasi you promoted them here in our ending remarks.
Yeah, promo. So,
it's interesting. That one of them is Kapampangan, and the lyrics are Kapampangan. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the song is Kapampangan.
Okay, so don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up and hit the bell button to get notified when we post our videos, and stay tuned for more episodes weekly. And until next time, bye guys. Dakal salamat.